The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 6, The Price. One of my favorite episodes so far in Season 2, and the reason being, I don't think the writers of this show know how to do episodes without Pedro Pascal as Joel. Now, I know some people think that the other episodes aren't as good because there is more involvement from Craig Mazin and less involvement from Neil Druckmann. And yes, Neil Druckmann is working on Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, a new video game for Naughty Dog, so maybe he stepped back a little bit in this season, but it's pretty normal with TV shows for there to be one overall creative mind as the showrunner, and then lots of different directors for individual episodes and different writers for individual episodes. Now, Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin are both credited with writing on every episode of The Last of Us, and then Neil Druckmann has directed 2 episodes of the show. 1 episode in season 1 of the show, Infected, and then he directed this episode, The Price, in season 2. Craig Mazin, I think, has also directed 2 episodes of the show, one in each season. So I don't necessarily blame that factor. I think it's more so that the show is trying to change things from the game that makes the show not work as well after Joel dies. And therefore, this episode works so well because Joel is in the whole thing. We basically see the episode through these little arcs of Ellie's different birthdays for the most part, starting with her 15th birthday where Joel gives her a guitar and a cake where her name's spelled incorrectly. This is just a really sweet moment, basically no notes. The performance of Future Days is amazing and super emotional. I knew it was coming and I was so excited with the execution. Then we have her 16th birthday, which this is a moment from the game that's replicated really well. Basically, also no notes. I mean, the entire sequence with adding the detail of Joel coming out there to lube up the machine so that she could do this. And then they basically panel for panel got it from the game. It's super cool the way that they go into the Apollo, and the lighting sequence of her imagination as it takes off is just beautiful, so much fun, and visually really, really cool. It does make me a little bit sad that at the end of this birthday, she sees the fireflies and remembers her mistrust of Joel, thinking about Salt Lake City. In the game, I thought this was more of a pure memory before things started to turn sour, but they had to remind us of that. I get why they did it because of the direction they were going with the rest of the episode. Then we get her next birthday, her next patrol, and this here is Joe Pantoliano. If you don't recognize him, he's Cypher from The Matrix. He's also in Memento, a great underrated actor. Here he plays Eugene, a character who's referenced in the game, but we don't get to meet. He has a connection with Dina. He was a pothead. He was an older guy who had died before the game even started. And here we get a flashback, which I feel like replaces a sequence in the game where Ellie has an early patrol with Joel, and they're trying to find some people that have ran off from the community, and they go into a hotel. Joel fights a bloater for her, and he takes out the bloater in the game by hand. He uses just a machete and his bare hands to hack the bloater to pieces to save Ellie's life, which is an incredible feat, one of Joel's most impressive feats in the entire verse. So one negative